The last segment when we showed you the tweet, his farewell to his buddy, TB12. This from another former teammate, Rex Burkhead. Learned so much from you, TB, and always enjoyed taking the field with you. Best to you and the family for everything to come. We're now rejoined by Rap Sheet himself. And Ian, we've been talking about Brady heading to Tampa Bay, the implications on the entire division, but there's also implications in New England. What do they do now under center for Bill Belichick?
What they are not going to do is react very quickly and sign someone or trade for someone snapping their fingers. And we noticed that even though it was very clear, really yesterday around midday, that Tampa Bay was going to end up with Tom Brady, and the Patriots knew it was Monday night, the Patriots knew that Tom Brady was going after his meeting with Robert Kraft. They didn't jump to sign any quarterback then either. They're going to be deliberate. They're going to go through their options and try to figure out who is going to be their next quarterback. And by the way, that person might actually be on their roster. Jarrett Stidham, who they drafted in the mid-rounds last year, they like a lot. You saw some limited playing time. Obviously, we all saw the pick six there in his final moments. But they really do think very highly of him. I also don't believe, from what I know, that they'd love to spend a lot of money at that position. So it's possible what they may get is Jarrett Stidham, Cody Kessler, and then someone in the draft and move forward. They also could look to sign a veteran. I just don't believe it's going to be someone who's too expensive for them.
Wow, interesting. Okay, as they begin a new era there in New England, there are things to consider. Ian Rappaport, as always, we appreciate it. As we rejoin you here, you have to think that there is some plan by Bill Belichick. As we heard our reporters, analysts, even though Cody Kessler and Jarrett Stidham, and they could say what they want publicly, I feel like, Kim, Belichick is always prepared. He always has some sort of plan. I can't believe that they're just going to go with Jarrett Stidham and Cody Kessler or draft somebody else.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind Bill Belichick has a plan. That I have no doubt. What that plan is, I'm not sure any of us know yet, and there may be a filling out process here. Maybe he likes a quarterback in this draft. Maybe they do like Stidham as much as Ian and others have said that the Patriots really like their young quarterback. That would not, in my mind, automatically mean he's the starter, put him at first team and on the depth chart, and we're good, because I don't suspect Bill Belichick would operate that way. But I do think it's intriguing to believe they don't want to spend a lot of money at that position. At some level, they're going to have to be creative. And to me, creative would be Stidham as a starting quarterback, because there are a lot of unknowns there.
Absolutely. And Judy, when you look at this, there's not only pressure on young Stidham because he'll be filling in for a future Hall of Famer, but also consider the fact that he would be stepping into some dubious footsteps of Jacoby Brissett, who went on to do big things. He also steps in for Jimmy Garoppolo, who's gone on to do some big things. So we've seen some backups really make an impact on the team. So are we really to believe that Stidham would be the long-term answer as well as short-term?
Well, look, I'm going to lean on something that Mike Giardi told us yesterday at around this time, that they like what they've seen from Stidham. But let's face it, you can't know how a quarterback is going to do in a 2-minute drill with the game on the line until he's in the 2-minute drill with the game on the line. I mean, you just have no idea. You just can't extrapolate from practice or a training camp what he's going to do in the heat of the moment. We'll see. I think the important thing to remember is when we say they don't want to spend a lot or they don't want to give up a lot of capital, that may be okay. First of all, there's a glut of quarterbacks available right now, right? As the seats start to get filled in this musical chairs, Phillip Rivers to the Colts, Brady now we know in Tampa, Bridgewater. There are going to be guys with starting capability and lots of starting experience who probably will not have jobs. So if they are interested in any of those guys, they're not going to have to rush. They can be deliberate. The other factor to consider is, again, there's not going to be an off-season program. So there's not going to be a rush to get your guy in the building, because they can't be in the building. They can't be with their teammates. They have time to take a deep breath, see what's going to be available when free agency calms down here in the next 24, 36 hours, and then figure out their options.
Sean, if you were a player there, a holdover there for the Patriots, are you freaking out? Or are you thinking, hey, B squared, he's got this thing covered?
I'm sure that the Patriots players in that locker room are sad to see Tom Brady go, but they know in that building, too, that there's always a plan. And like Kim Jones said, I'm sure Bill Belichick has some things up his sleeve. Now, the Cam Newton trade is kind of makes you curious, and especially when you think about if you're Bill Belichick and you're looking around the AFC and you're saying, all right, I can't find somebody to outthrow Mahomes. And I don't know if I could find someone to outrun Lamar Jackson, but maybe I could find a hybrid player that can do both. Maybe Cam Newton can be that wild card for him. I said it the other day, maybe Andy Dalton is in play here. Let's have a little fun with this, all right?
Yeah.
You remember when the Patriots got in trouble for filming the Cincinnati Bengals sideline? Maybe they were advanced scouting Andy Dalton. Maybe that was the whole point of it.
Conspiracy theory.
Hey, listen,
Sean O'Hara.
Andy Dalton. Look, I know that the Patriots mascots on game day, they have muskets, all right, but maybe now they need the red rifle to come and join forces. Maybe that's what Bill is thinking. I think when you look at a lot of the quarterbacks, I mean, look, there's a lot of quarterbacks available this year in free agency, more so than we have had in the past. But Andy Dalton has, I think when you look at what he was able to do last year with Zach Taylor, I think the first couple of weeks of the season, Andy Dalton led the league in passing yards and passer rating, and things leveled out. But Andy Dalton is a very good quarterback. He's very capable. The playoffs have been his Achilles heel, but I think when you look at the trajectory and who could be the starting quarterback the longest out of a lot of these people, Andy Dalton might just be the answer.
Sean, when you went conspiracy theory, my friend, I thought for sure you had Eli coming out of retirement and going to Foxborough in what would be the craziest part of this free agency frenzy.
That would be interesting.
Yes, I would. No,
I left Sean speechless. Sean is speechless.
I know. But this is the Sean that we sing about around the campfire. The conspiracy theorists. This is the one that I wanted to hear. Don't hold back. Just because we're on the 4 box, don't hold back, my friend. And we are not holding back.